Hello everyone, this is Melissa the Stamp Doc, and tonight I'm going to do a little something different. I'm going to be showing you some projects with the Birthday Bonanza Suite, and I've already shared this card, which was based off of a sketch from TGIF Challenges, and this is a group that I am on the design team of, and we do a weekly challenge that's posted every Friday, and you are definitely invited to play along. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you this sketch. This is what we had to go on, and then this is what I created using that sketch. And then I'm going to show you a couple of more projects using that same sketch, just changing the orientation and the project a little bit. So on this card, I used strips of paper that were 1 inch by 3.5 inches. And then the card base is 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4.25. One other thing I do is I always put an additional white layer on there just to give that a little bit of dimension. And so those are really the only measurements you need for this card. This is part of the die cuts from that set. So let me show you what's included in that bundle first. So of course, we have the Bonanza Buddies stamp set, and you've got all of these cute little images and their little faces that you can do, all of that. And then you have the coordinating dies. So this is where I got that cute little tag. There's a couple of banners, a little party hat, some little circles there, and then also what you need to die cut the toucan, the koala, and the lion image. So some cute little die cuts there. And then additionally, your accessories in that are some Daffodil Delight crinkle ribbon, and we'll be using this in our project today. And you have your 6x6, well actually it's 12x12, sorry, designer series paper. This is called Birthday Bonanza. I cut it down to 6x6 just so that you could see it a little bit better. But lots of really bright, colorful, fun images. Now, another thing you might not have realized, but you can use the dies to cut out those images as well. So that makes that really handy also. And let me turn that one over. So you got the blueprint there. There is a die for this as well, just the plain little toucan. And you've got your balloons, then your presents, some little stripes. This little print has all the little animals on it and little gifts, just a really fun party print. And then you've got your lions and the yellow print there. So those come in 12x12 sheets, and you get 2 each of those. And then there are also some assorted pom-poms. Now I just checked, and these are on back order. So you can order the entire suite bundle, and then these will ship when they become available. I think right now the ship date is March 2nd. So that's kind of a bummer. So the rest of my projects, even though my first project uses one, the rest of my projects don't use them. So you will live without them for a short period of time. And then there is one final item in the suite bundle, and those are little cellophane bags, and those will be great for little treat bags also. So this is the 2-page spread in the January through June mini catalog. It is on page 32 and 33. And if you want all of those items, you can use this item number right here. It's 153929, and all of those items are $70 together. Now, if you want to piece that out, you can get the designer series paper separately. You can even do a bundle with the stamp set and the dies that will save you 10%, or you can buy those individually on the next page. So there's lots of great samples in there as well, so you can always use those for inspiration also. So back to this sketch, and I like to use sketches a lot, especially when I'm really struggling with inspiration. So I decided that I was going to turn the sketch. So I'm going to turn it this way instead. So I'm going to set this one aside. Actually, I'll bring it down here. All right. And so I'm going to start my card base is 4¼ by 11, and I scored it at 5½ inches. Now, some people would just go ahead and put everything directly on there. I don't tend to do that. I always tend to cut a second layer that's 1/4 inch shorter on all sides. So this measures 4 inches by 5¼ inches. And the reason why is if I mess this up for some reason, the whole card is really kind of destroyed. I mean, I can cut it apart and piece that together. But if I have this panel, if anything gets messed up, I can just flip it over, or I'm only losing 1/4 sheet of cardstock. So I'm going to place that there, and I've got some scraps of that paper again. And this time I cut those to 3/4 inch by 5 inches. And I'm going to place those on the card just like I did that first one. So I'm going to use my snail adhesive, and I'm going to start with this piece right here. Now you could use any combination of these, however you like, but I am just going to put them in that same order. So I'm going to start and just angle that one slightly, and then the next one's going to go over that. I'm going to use the little gift one, and we'll put a little bit more up here. And that one gets just angled over a little bit like this. Okay, and then I want my yellow piece there in the middle. And the reason why is this piece has Daffodil Delight, and we are going to be using Daffodil Delight ribbon on this. So I want that to kind of be right there in the middle to offset that. We're going to use our balloon piece. And again, these are just little strips of cardstock. This is a great card that you could make like after you've done some bigger projects and you've got these scraps left over. This is a perfect way to do that. And we're going to do that again. Now, I showed on my Instagram and Facebook today how I cut these with the Scan and Cut. I didn't show you step by step. I just showed you what the results were. And the results weren't great. They weren't fantastic. There are ways to kind of play around with that, but I just was lazy today and didn't quite feel like doing that. So you can also, like I said, you can die cut those with the dies also. It just doesn't have the little balloons and party hats with it. You have to do those separate. All right, so I've got my little die cut tag, and this is really cute in the die cuts because it already comes with the hole punched and it's got little stitching lines on it, so it's ready to go. And I'm going to use the stamp from the Bonanza Buddies stamp set that says Happy Birthday, and I'm just going to stamp that on the bottom with that Memento ink. So we're just going to do that there. And then here's my little armless koala. I think I talked about him in the video. So I'm going to just set him there for now. And I am going to use Coastal Cabana ink and this little Starburst. And I'm just going to add a couple of those to my card here. And you can just put those wherever you like, but I'm just trying to fill that in a little bit. Let's see if I can, yeah, don't watch that. Okay, turned out okay. All right. Now I also cut a piece of 3/4 inch by 3½ basic black cardstock, and I used my scissors just to make little tail ends on that. If you've got the little punch, you can use that too. And I'm going to put that in the middle of that card. So we're just going to put that right there. And I'm going to pop him up with a few dimensionals. You can never go wrong with adding some dimension to your card. And I buy tons of these, and Celebration's a great time to stock up on those necessities. I'll often buy about 5 packs of those at a time because I do go through them that much. I'll add him an arm later, but I guess it could even look like he's just got his arm stuck behind his back too. Or if you didn't know what the stamp set looked like, you might just think that that's the way that should be. So I'm going to take a little bit of the Daffodil Delight ribbon. I'm going to get about 8 inches. That should be plenty. And we're going to fold that in half. And this is just a great way if you don't want to tie a bow to do that. So I'm feeding that through. There's the loop right there. And I'm going to feed those two ends right through that loop on that other side. See, this is even hard to do when you're live on video. Okay, so I've got that. I'm going to just trim those ends. I don't need that much on there. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my front panel on the front of my card. You could also pop this up with dimensionals if you want it, but I'm already going to put some dimension on the tag and on that. So I've got that right there. I'm going to throw a couple of dimensionals on the back of the tag. So again, he's got double pop-ups on him, and that's why I kept that bottom layer flat. Go ahead and peel those off. And we'll put him right there on the front. So there we go. We've got another little card using that same sketch and just turning that this way. So same thing, just a little bit different orientation. So I do have one other card that I did with that stamp set and the scraps of paper. And this one, these pieces just measure 1 inch by 5 inch. And I just kind of stacked those up along there and really did the same thing. I did add a little bit of a banner, but that's the only real difference with this card. So very cute. And now I've got a really nice little collection of birthday cards ready to go. So again, you can use these sketches for just about anything. The next project I'm going to show you is doing a scrapbook page with that. So we're going to use that same idea, and I am going to start with a piece of Whisper White 12 by 12 cardstock. And again, I have my strips of paper. So I did switch out the birthday patterns for these little stripes because I didn't want this to be a birthday page. I wanted this to be a little bit different than that. So these pieces measure 2 inches by 10 inches. And I'm gonna go ahead and put those down just like we did the other ones. So I am gonna start with the stripe piece. We're gonna get a lot of adhesive on here. And if you're into scrapbooking, this adhesive will work fine for you. And again, I'm just going to start layering these across. And then we're going to do, let's go ahead and do this orange piece. And one of the nice things in this new catalog is they do show you all of the colors that coordinate, so you could definitely do different coordination of colors on this. But I believe this is more like a Calypso Coral and a Coastal Cabana. And what else do we have here? We've got Daffodil Delight, which you know from that. And really this pattern with the paper ends up looking kind of like an M. Best way I can describe it. Okay, get that started again. Aren't these koalas cute? All right, and we're going to kind of come over like this. And again, like I said, even though this is birthday paper, I'm wanting it to kind of have that party feel, but without a birthday. And you'll see what. But I am going to start doing a lot more scrapbooking this year, and I will have some details on that on the Facebook page for you soon. And we're just going to put that one there. Okay, so I've got that. And then I do want the little piece that goes across there. So what I'm going to do, I cut a piece of Flirty Flamingo, And this is not a color that is actually included in this suite, but it is in my picture that I'm wanting to use. So I'm using that same little confetti stamp that I used before, and I'm just going to go tone on tone with that. And I'm going to do just the ends on those because I want it to have a little bit of a floral effect. Get a few more on there and we should be good. Those are just real random on there. Okay. So then I'm going to adhere that into place. And we're going to put that on there. I want that just right there in the middle. And then here is my photo. And this is a picture of my daughter with the trolls at Universal last year. And so this is just kind of a bright, colorful picture, and I thought it would go perfectly with that. Let's see. Hello from New Zealand. Wow. Okay. And okay. I am looking at starting some scrapbooking online classes. So I'm working on those right now. So you're getting kind of a little sneak peek of that with this project. But I do have some other projects in the works. And as long as you're subscribed to my Facebook page, you will get notifications of that. So I'm hoping to have something on that in the next week or two. So I'm going to add that to the center of my page. So just like my tag on the other ones, I've got that on there. Let me just turn that down. I don't know if I turn that down a little bit, if it's going to help or not. But you can see I've got that. And then I'm going to use my tag for journaling. So I'm just going to have my daughter write something on that since that was her thing. But we actually went to Universal for Harry Potter, and I think she was more excited about this. Now, the other thing I'm going to use on this page are some little flowers, and these are from the Thoughtful Blooms stamp set, and I punched those out with the Thoughtful Blooms punch. And these are free items that you can get during celebration. So this one is free with a $50 purchase, and this one is free with a $100 purchase. So if you get the bundle, you can easily add this onto that. So what I did is I stamped those in Coastal Cabana. You can see right here. And I added just a glitter dot to those. And I'm just going to add a couple of those as my embellishments on this page. And you could definitely do more, but they kind of remind me of like little troll flowers. So I thought they were cute. So we're just going to add those on. And there we have our finished scrapbook page. So I'll have some other photos and close-ups of that so that you can see that online. But it's very simple. I have a lot more photos from that trip. And what I'm going to do is use some of the Project Life page protectors for that, because those will be great for adding additional photos. And then I can always accent them with some of these papers as well. So that is how I use those sketches to create different things. So there is the original card. Here is the card that we did in that. And then here is my additional card for that. So you've got all of those projects made with the Birthday Bonanza Suite. So thanks so much for watching. I did provide links for you to play along with TGIF challenges this week. So if you want to make a card and upload it there, we do announce a winner every Friday, and we'd love to have you play along. So have a great week, and I'll talk with you soon.